Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about the moon in our natal chart. And if you don't know how to find which sign the moon is in your natal chart, I will leave here a video to help you. To come to this website, astro.com. So this is what you're going to see. Then you go to free horoscopes, personal portrait, and then you click here for guest users. Click here to go to the data entry page. Then you write your name, your date of birth. This is not my date of birth, by the way. And then the hour of birth, that's very important. And then the country where you were born, and the area that you were born. Okay, perfect. So then you click on continue, and then you come again here to free horoscopes, natal chart, ascendant, and then you can see your natal chart. So what you need to look for is this symbol. This is the moon symbol. So you look for this in your natal chart, and then you're going to see where the blue that comes from the moon is, in which each zodiac sign. So these are the zodiac signs, okay? So you look for the moon, and then you look to which sign the moon line it's pointing to. So I'm going to make like an explanation chart of each symbol. So you don't need to worry about that. You just need to memorize the way the symbol is, and then you need to compare to that table that I'm going to do. So the moon in our natal chart represents our unconscious, the way we react to things instinctively, how we behave when we are under pressure. It shows our first instinct. So if something happens, the place where we have our moon will show what kind of reaction we will have. So the first kind of reaction we have to situations. The place where we have the moon also shows the type of mom we have, what sort of characteristics our mom has. Or to be even more specific, the way we perceived our moms, because different siblings can definitely have different moon signs, so it means that different people perceived the same person in a different way. So in this video, that is what we are going to learn. How do we react under pressure? What is our first instinct when something goes wrong, and how to change that? So let's start with the first moon. Moon in Aries. The best moon ever.
No, I'm joking, that's just my moon.
People with moon in Aries, when they are under pressure, they activate the action. So a person with moon in Aries, when something goes wrong, or they are under pressure, or problem happens, or situation happens, the first instinct they have is to solve it. They want to solve the problem. They can't just sit and wait. They need to have a plan to solve the things. They start get very anxious, and they are very impulsive people. Also, people with moon in Aries are very active and independent. And also they can get very easily upset with someone. But as is Aries energy, the person can get really upset, but then it goes. People with moon in Aries really don't hold any resentments. If they forgive, they really forgive, and goes and passes. They don't really think too much about it anymore. It's in the past, they just want to move forward, keep going. Normally, people with moon in Aries, they perceive their moms as very independent women, or even hyperactive women. So moms with a lot of energy, they could even be a bit impulsive and even have some aggressiveness on them. This doesn't mean it's a physical aggression, but it can be, or it can also be physical, but it can be like emotional or even psychological. Active, independent woman with that energy of Aries. Does the things, don't wait for anyone. Energy, very self-assertive moms. Now we are going to talk about Moon in Taurus. People with Moon in Taurus, when they are under pressure or scared about something, they activate the attachment. People with Moon in Taurus, normally, when they feel insecure, they get very attached and they can feel very possessive of people or things. They can be attached to material things, but majority of the time they are attached to people, emotionally attached to someone. It can be or family or friends or relationships, but normally they are attached and possessive people. Another thing that normally they are very attached to as well is their routines. They like their habits, they like to do something in a certain way. They don't like very much when something changes on their routines, especially if that change is caused by someone else, not them choosing to do it. They are really good friends and they like to help the people they love. They also have a good connection with nature and biology and animals in general. These people normally have very protective moms, or moms that were always very worried about surviving or money, moms that were always trying to make ends meet at the end of the month, or moms that passed the idea of not having enough money, the survival issues. People with Moon in Taurus, they have, as we say, their feet on the ground. They know the importance of the material things. They know we need material things to survive, and that's true. We need money to live in this world. But the problem is they can give too much importance to that aspect. So people with Moon in Taurus really need to learn how to let go of people, let go of material things, and if something is making them feel insecure, they need to learn how to let it go, how to understand this is not mine, this person, this house, this car. So they need to learn how to live with the less attachment. Now moving to the Moon in Gemini. People with Moon in Gemini, when they are under pressure, they activate the communication. So they get very talkative. They have a big emotional conflict. And they tend to compensate their insecurities by knowledge. So when they feel insecure, you can see them like talking, justifying, showing their knowledge because they feel insecure. So that's the way of defending themselves, is by knowing, is by showing that they know, is by more knowledge. They know how things work. So along the life, what they try to do is to study more, obtain more information about something, because that way they feel more protected. They feel like if something happened, they will know how to argue about something, or they will know how to defend themselves with that knowledge. When they feel something, instead of feeling that emotion, people with Moon in Gemini, they rationalize their emotions. So if they are feeling something, they try to find a mental justification for it. Why am I feeling like that? What happened that caused this? Should I be feeling like this? What can I do to stop feeling like this? So instead of just feeling, they try to fight it with the mind. And people with Moon in Gemini normally had moms with a commercial activity or an intellectual activity, and normally they had moms that talk a lot. So people with Moon in Gemini, what they need to learn is to feel the emotion instead of trying to understand the emotion with their heads. So when they feel something new, they just need to feel it instead of like trying to rationalize it. They need to understand that we feel emotions and we don't understand emotions. So if something happens, they should sit down, and instead of trying to put it in their heads how to solve that, they just need to feel the emotion. People with Moon in Cancer. People with Moon in Cancer get hurt very easily. And when someone hurts them, they don't forget. And they also don't like to share their emotions. But they don't share their emotions as a protective mechanism. They don't like the other people to know how exactly they are feeling. They are also very protective of the people they love. And their mood can vary a lot along the day, along the week. If you live with someone with moon in Cancer, in the morning you can have one type of person, and by night they are a different type of person, and their mood can be totally different. People with moon in Cancer should be very aware to not develop a very needy attitude towards their partners. They can suffer from emotional anxiety, and normally they make a lot of scenarios in their heads of what can go wrong, how can it go wrong. They like to prepare emotionally to something to go wrong because they feel if they already had the scenario in their minds, they are more protected. They are like,
oh, I knew this was going to happen, so I kind of know how to deal with this.
That's why they tend to do scenarios in their head before the things really happen. People with moon in Cancer normally had very protective and conservative moms. Sometimes their moms were so protective that they try to protect their child from living. They want to protect their child from the bad things in the world, so they protect too much. People with moon in Cancer, what they need to learn is that it's okay to feel the emotions, and they need to understand that they won't die if someone hurts them. They need to learn how to be self-sustained. They can't wait for someone else to take care of them. They need to learn how to open up to the world without always being afraid of being hurt. Now moving on to moon in Leo. People with moon in Leo, when they are under pressure, they activate the need of being recognized by others. This is because people with moon in Leo, they feel insecure about their own identity. In all truth, they don't know who they are. So they need the people from the outside to tell them who they are. So they need the other people to recognize them and to applaud them. They can easily show their feelings, but at the same time they can be very dramatic. And a characteristic from moon in Leo is normally they act like nothing affects them. But because of that attitude, when they need someone, they can't find it because people around them think they are always fine. Normally people with moon in Leo have an image of their moms as a very strong, dignified woman and powerful woman, although they didn't have much space to show weakness when they were little, because they needed to be strong even when they were little. They were always incentivized by their moms or people around them to be strong. They don't like to feel as a weak person. People with moon in Leo, they need to learn who they are. They need to recognize themselves, to stop depending on the other people's opinions and stop depending on the other people's applause or critics. They need to be their own critic. They need to understand who they really are and stop need people around them tell them who they are. Now, people with moon in Virgo, they have a hard time dealing with their emotions and their feelings. When they feel insecure, they try to protect themselves by criticizing. They can criticize the others or even themselves. And normally they try to get distracted by being busy or by over cleaning or overworking. They want to distract from their emotions, from their feelings, from what's happening. So they do something on the outside to get out of their inside world. And they always feel very confused about their emotions. Normally they show themselves as very calm on the surface when their inside is chaotic. But if you see a person with moon in Virgo, they always have like a good posture. But if we could open and see their insides, we would see a storm going inside. But they are just very good in controlling what they transmit to the outside world. They really don't like to feel fragile or to let their instinctive side win, and that's why sometimes you can see a bit of a rigid posture. They have an image of their moms as a very discreet, simple person, very hardworking person, or someone that needed to make a lot of sacrifices through their lives. They need to stop being afraid that their instinctive side will win. So they need to allow themselves to feel the emotions, to be fragile, to make mistakes. They need to be more friendly with themselves. Now we're going to talk about moon in Libra. People with moon in Libra, they are very delicate, sensitive, and they can also be very indecisive. They kind of struggle a little bit to affirming themselves, and they adapt too much to the others, and they easily feel frightened by more abrupt people with more of aggressive or abrupt energy. They feel like they don't really like to be around those kind of people. They have a deep desire of pleasing the others, and they don't do well with unfairness. If they feel they are victims or someone that they love is being victim of unfairness, they really defend them the best they can, and they help them solve that unfair situation. Although what they can do is create a fake peace to avoid conflicts. And what I mean with fake peace is they can agree with someone just to not create a conflict with that person, or to avoid the person to get upset with them, even if they have other opinion about that subject. So basically, to maintain the peace, they tend to ignore the problems. They are very diplomatic. People with moon in Libra normally have an image of their moms as very dependable and sensitive moms. A mom that normally tries to please everyone around them, to keep the peace around them. Or can also be moms that give too much importance to the relationship with the child's dad. A mom that was very focused in her marriage, in pleasing the husband or their partners. Now moving on to moon in Scorpio. So people with moon in Scorpio, when they are under pressure or they feel insecure, they activate the manipulation normally. And people with moon in Scorpio, they can constantly feel threatened, and they can easily become manipulative and controlling with their partners and with people around them. These people along their lives, they face a lot of emotional crises. And as they pass through so many situations in their lives, they understand the others like no one does. So that's why they can be very good therapists or psychologists. They feel secure when they feel desired by the others. This is very peculiar from moon in Scorpio, but they can also have like extreme feelings. So when they like someone,
They really love that person. But when they don't like someone, they really don't like that person.
It's kind of they hate that person.
in an obsessive way. Normally they have an image of their moms as a controlling mom or sometimes a manipulative mom. And these people in moon in Scorpio, they need to learn how not to be so extreme with their emotions. So like or hate. No, they need to learn and kind of be in between, if that's possible for this moon, because they feel everything very intensively, and this can be draining as well. So they need to learn how not to care so much and focus a bit more on themselves instead of always trying to achieve something with someone. So they should be a bit more self-centered and love themselves more than they love the others. Now moving to moon in Sagittarius. People with moon in Sagittarius, they tend to try to escape situations. So if they feel under pressure or if they have a problem, they tend to not think too much about it. They like to gain distance from the situation, and they have a hard time finding out what they truly believe in. So it looks like they're always seeking the truth, maybe always looking for a philosophy to live by, or they don't really know what to believe in, so they're always looking for the truth. Even in normal situations, they want to know who's right, who's wrong. They have that passion for the truth. They are direct, spontaneous, and very honest in their relationships. They don't deal well with sadness. That's why they always try to run away from the situations. That's a way of protecting themselves from sad environments. Sometimes, and normally, these people might think they are the owners of the truth. Only their truth is the correct one. Normally, people with moon in Sagittarius think of their moms as a strong person, a mom that has strong values and high values, or can be those type of moms that are always opinionated about everything and always telling the kids what needs to be done, how it needs to be done. Now moving on to moon in Capricorn. People with moon in Capricorn are, as we can say, hard to get. They struggle to share their feelings and their emotions. And under pressure or when they are scared of a situation, they tend to close themselves off, especially in public. And for them to trust or give themselves to someone, they need to feel secure first. So they are not the type of person that meets someone today and tomorrow they are their best friends. No, they need time to know the person, to understand who they are dealing with. They like to feel prepared. They don't trust people by nature. And also they don't trust people that are very open and trust everyone from the beginning. People with moon in Capricorn, they needed to grow up quickly. So normally people with moon in Capricorn have an idea of their moms as a rigid mom, or they grow up in a poor environment, or even their mom was known by the public. So if the mom was a celebrity, or even if the mom was known around the town, imagine their moms is the owner of the coffee shop in the town and everyone knows the mom. But basically these people, they grow up in an environment where people don't share their feelings. We can say that these people had a poor childhood in the material way, so they could be like poor people, or it could be poor in the emotions field. So people really don't say that they love, people don't share their feelings. They can show in different actions that they love, but it's an environment where they don't say and they don't express their feelings. So people with moon in Capricorn really need to learn that it's okay to be fragile, it's okay to open up, not everyone is going to betray them, it's okay to meet new people, and it's also okay and good to deal with their emotions, because they tend to close themselves off as well from their emotions, from their feelings, because they want to be strong. But life will always lead them in the opposite way, will bring situations where they feel fragile. So now moon in Aquarius. People with moon in Aquarius, when they are under pressure or scared of a situation, they tend to get emotionally distant. Normally they do better in groups than one-to-one relationships. So they kind of struggle to create intimate relationships because they fear losing their freedom. But normally people with moon in Aquarius, they know a lot of people and different people. They are good in dealing with the other people's differences without judging, and know how to respect the other people's limits. They might want to be the center of attention sometimes, and they really hate to be controlled. People with moon in Aquarius, normally they have moms that were somehow different from their generation. It could be the cool mom, or a mom that had a different profession from the other moms, or normally their moms, they were different in some kind of way. Although these people might have felt that their moms were emotionally distant, and this could be really because of the mom's personality, or could be because of the mom's professional activity that didn't allow them to be present. It could be moms that travel a lot, or moms that needed to get up very early and got home very late, so they couldn't see their kids. Normally they have this idea of their moms somehow a bit distant. And now moving on to our last moon, that is moon in Pisces. People with moon in Pisces, they are very, very sensitive people. Normally I describe as people that look like sponges. They absorb everything that is around them, and they feel a lot, they feel everything, and because of this they create a lot of emotional suffering, and sometimes they can lose themselves in this ocean of feelings. Sometimes they might even feel something that is not from them, it's from their family members or from their friends, but as they absorb everything to them, they really just create that ocean of emotions on their inside. They have a very good artistic capacity, and they are not easily fooled because they are so sensitive. They can easily figure it out if people around them have good intentions, have bad intentions. They can read people very well. Normally people with the moon in Pisces have an idea of their moms as a very good person, a mom that helps and forgives everyone around her, or even a mom that always needed to deal with a lot of problems along her life and make sacrifices. So people with moon in Pisces, they really need to learn how to discriminate a bit more their emotions. They need to learn what are their emotions, what are the friends' emotions, the partner's emotions. They really can't just absorb the world's emotions. They need to start to learn how to separate what is mine, what is from my friend, what is from my brother, and they need to understand that they can't solve everyone's problems in the world, for more that they desire that, because they really like to help people with moon in Pisces. They are very good friends as well. That's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. I hope it made sense to you. I also hope you managed to find which side you have the moon in, and to understand a bit better now how you react under pressure, how you react under stress, what are your unconscious characteristics, and how you can work on them. And let me know in the comments if there is any other particular planet that you would like to know about.